Does
Yeah.
this choice support my self-care? Why is that important for somebody to keep that in mind?
This is legit, right? And I was always taught this growing up. Like, ask yourself, Crystal. But it was like, is this what Jesus would do? Like, remember
Hmm.
WWJD
Hmm.
bracelets? That was like back in my day, I guess, when I was younger. So that was like the thing. But this is the same thing. It's like, does that support, my highest self, my self care, my self love? Is that going to be lead me to the next step, to the next level in life? Or is it going to keep me here or even knock me down there?
Right.
So if I had asked myself this at any point and literally took my own advice, then I would have made a good decision.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes I think for me, someone like me, it's like no matter how hard I tried, right? It was just I know I'm a good person and I know I'm doing the right. But then something would always happen and people always treat you bad, right? Toxic, trauma bonding stuff. And then sometimes you're like, you know what? Forget it. Forget everything. And you go through that season and mode, right? And you
Hmm.
realize that's detrimental. So this is very literal. If you just ask yourself every time, does this
Yeah.
support my self care, my self love, myself, and what I want in life?
So it'd be safe to say that there are decisions and choices that a person can make. Maybe you can speak. You just touched on it. Speak from experience that you would have never made if you would
Oh
have approached it
no.
as to and weighing it out on the scales of balance, whether this is something that you should do.
Right. And it's hard to do when your body is so tense, going through anxiety, fears. There's other types of, negative vibes and just feelings, thoughts, like all of that ends up being vibes, right? Everything's
Hmm.
vibration, everything's energy. So I've had to learn that the hard way. I never really broke it down before until this past year or two. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is literally, I am creating my own good or bad energy from within myself and my thoughts and my emotions. It's like each one's a little layer. And then you got your spirit, soul, all those other things.
So,
And
so the next one, live in the present, based upon what you just said, live in the present instead of focusing on what could have been. Oh, do me a favor, please. You may want to move to your
mhm,
left a little bit. I
I
have
was
to
going to
move myself
say,
over.
I
Or is
have
it
good
your right?
eyesight,
I don't
but
remember what other way. I don't. I'm okay. Yeah, do,
I'm going to do a
yeah,
little
do the wall. So
slide
live
here.
in the present instead of focusing on what could have been. Yak, 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 yak.
Or what's going to happen, or just
Oh yeah.
anything but the present moment. Just really anything but that means that you're not really living your life. And I was really glad to have this hit home and for me to really get good practice at this when I started doing acting classes years ago. And I went through an acting training
Hmm.
program here in Orlando, and it was like, oh, just the light bulb went off. It's like you have to be present with your partner, or if you're on your own doing a monologue or whatnot, whatever you're doing, it's like you have to be present. You have to actively listen. You have to respond like honestly and authentically. You're caught up in that moment. That's why a lot of movies, shows, things we watch with actors seem a
Hmm.
little intense and dramatic because you're supposed to give a raw reaction and let it really,
Hmm.
flow out and really actively listen to your partner as whatever scene you're doing. So it's like that
Right.
really trained me in
Hmm.
front of a whole class, just jumping right in as an adult taking acting classes. It taught me how to be present. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I got practice. It's a muscle that you have to work out. Like a lot of improv people, they do
Hmm.
long, short improv, all different kinds of just thinking off your feet, right? You're
Hmm.
improving.
Okay.
We all are through life anyway, improvising,
Sure.
right?
In many cases.
There's plans and blueprints and
This
whatnot,
this show,
but
this show that we do,
yeah.
right? Okay.
But what am I saying? The improving. So I'm gonna distract myself. Yeah, like that was really helpful too. Just thinking off your feet and not worrying, learning how to practice not worrying, thinking about what you're gonna say, having any fears at all because you're caught up in that moment. And that was always a safe place when I would step into one of these acting or like improv
Yeah.
space, anything with those types of performing arts. Once I got into it and realized, oh, I do have something to offer. I
Hmm.
like this is really cool and it's way more than what I thought. This is meaningful to my life. So I learned how to do that there. I'll be honest with you. I didn't learn that from nowhere else. Not
So
church, not my family.
so what was it like before we move to the next one, what was it like with your emotions, just raw emotions exposed to people, many of them you didn't know and you had never met before? What was that like, peeling back those layers of yourself and your emotions?
In the acting
You move
class,
back in the camera again. Sorry, we can move over. Yeah, there you go. So go ahead. You were saying?
I'm gonna be the disobedient one. I'm gonna be the
No,
bad
you're not. No,
girl.
you're
So, Crystal, I told you to stay.
no, you're not. You're not.
Just for
Don't label
fun.
yourself what
I
others think
know.
about you.
It's a total joke. It's like a self-love
I know what
hate
you mean.
joke.
I know.
Being a bad example, Crystal.
No, you're not. All right,
Okay.
what was it like
You
being
mean in the acting class?
Crystal unveiled in front of everybody with your emotions,
Do
and
you
you had to
mean in
be in
my
the moment?
life when I started letting it all go, or in the acting class when I was learning it?
Hey man, that's a whole.
Either
We're
way,
gonna take this show in a whole different direction. I didn't
'cause
plan
that's
this.
it's different. Two different things.
Whichever one you want to share with somebody. Go ahead. Just let it out. Hey, just let it out,
Let it
sister.
go. Okay. Y'all know I can't sing, but I do, and I love to do it, and I'm doing it.
You sing just fine to me. I like the fact you sing. It's like a musical. It's like those movies are just
It
you
is.
just break out in song just all of
Do
a
you
sudden.
know, I have literally done that, like, out in the open at a store, and then, like, people hear me talking to myself, and I'm like, I'm just in my own little musical. And then I do a little song for them, and they're just staring at me. I've totally done that.
Hey,
That's
you
when you
need to
don't
stand
care.
in front of Walmart with a little hat, and that way you just start doing that. It makes
I
some
do it
money.
at Target. I've
Yeah.
done a
No,
few
actually,
stunts at Target, actually.
there you go.
Okay.
Go to Target and do that. Forget a hat. Get a bucket. A bucket is better. Just
Oh,
put a
fuck.
bucket down. Okay.
Cover the
You're
whole
getting some
head.
love there on the screen.
Fantastic to be here. It's fantastic to have you here, Real Deal Prime. I'm so glad. And then, okay, so the question, can you tell? I got the,
No, you're doing fine.
oh,
No,
no, it's good. It's a day like that. I've just accepted it, and I'm cool with it.
there you
It's like,
go. There you
I'm so
go.
glad. I see,
Yeah,
I love
get in the
myself. I
camera.
accept
Get in the
myself.
camera. Get in the camera.
That's real love and self-acceptance when you're like, you know what, I'm a little wonky and woozy,
No,
but
you know
it's
what?
good.
You're not
It's good.
wonky. You're exactly. Hey, Real Deal Prime. Tell us exactly what you think of Crystal. She thinks she's kind
All
of wonky. I
ears.
think she's just normal, like everybody else. I can't tell you to get in camera, and I don't get in camera.
You're just
That's
like
just,
everyone
yeah.
else. Don't let
That's right.
anyone tell you
That's
any
right.
different.
Just like just someone else on planet Zatar.
That's a line
All right.
from my favorite
So the
movie.
next
Okay.
one. So the next one. We were attempting to talk about emotions and stuff like that.
Oh,
All right.
peeling back
My
the
cat is over
onion.
here being weird. I think he probably knows you're on. He,
Mr.
Mr.
Sherlock knows
Yeah,
my voice
Sherlock.
now.
Yep, Mr. Sherlock is okay. So the next one: build inner strength by feeling your feelings instead of reaching out to them for reassurance.
Build
What
inner strength by feeling your feelings. I know it sounds so basic, right? Like, well,
sounds
duh.
sounds kindergartenish, but
Sounds
it's real.
preschoolish, like
It's
3 or
real.
like 4.
It's real.
This is real, and I've been facing and acknowledging it for years. Once I started like talk therapy, and I started like reading books and stuff and going, oh my gosh, I've been living a lie. I need to find my way. So I
Wow.
started that when I was probably 24 or 25, honestly, when I was pregnant with my son, and then I had him. So that was a life-changing event that made me get on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so just it's true, feeling your feelings. I personally, everyone has their own story. Personally, I grew up just kind of gradually, it's very insidious how it sneaks in, but just being told, and the religion and the faith and everything, that like it didn't matter what I felt, because our feelings and our heart can lie to us. And there was some Bible verses, shared and twisted a lot of truth, but which makes it a lie, right? If you twist the truth, then it's not the truth. It's a manipulated truth. It's a lie. It's like a math formula. This plus this equals. But it's true. I was told not to really like feel my feelings and don't worry about how you feel. It's not about you and your intuition. Literally, that's been told to me and preached to me over and over. You need to follow God's will for your life. It's about what God wants, and it's God, not you. You need to, so I was basically trained and brainwashed like to not pay attention to how I felt, because it's just a lie, and I need to be spiritual enough to get out of that, because that will just lead me down the wrong road. And so I had that negative thought of like, I'm going to make a mistake because I feel really intense feelings, and I knew some of my weaknesses and strengths and whatnot already. So, and you become worried you're going to, right, make a mistake, go down the wrong path. And then you do, because that's life, and you need, you have to
So
learn.
when it came to your feelings and your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
has it been a decade or so that you really started paying attention and recognizing what you were processing from within and not being misunderstood or per se misguided by people who had ulterior motives from the outside?
I would say, yep, 2012. I'll never forget it. This is 2022. So, right, 10 years ago. Yeah, I started that acting class. I was reading some books and materials that were really speaking to me. I started writing and journaling again. Free writing, it's, it's more of a free write. Like, I do all sorts of brain dumps. Sometimes they end up being like a poem, sometimes like a Dear Diary thing. Sometimes I can move it into like an article and write a blog and do all sorts of things with that, like I've done before. But yeah, it's been pretty wild.
When you say things spoke to you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna ask you this because you shared this that I have on the screen with me. Thank you, Real Deal Prime, for being all ears and stopping by or being here. We really appreciate it. Some of you have asked the question before I get to this next point. Some of you have asked, why don't we have the show at a different time so everybody can join in? Well, we tried to put the show on when we were available to do so, and we just put it out there for everybody to watch it. We will have shows that will be at certain time frames so we can have a larger audience that some of you have asked about so you can join in the lives. But we wanted to make sure to get this out to you at the time of day that we have it, 2 p.m. here on the West Coast and 5 p.m. on the East Coast where Crystal is. I want to get to this next thing here. Does this speak to you, this next one? Build healthy connections so you can free yourself from toxic ones. There's two different dynamics within that question: healthy connections and toxic So how does that speak to you? Because this is a posting, again, you recognize that meant something to you.
Yes. I'm like, oh, I've gone through these things. These are great 6 ways. Of course, once you acknowledge, you observe whatever you're feeling or thinking, whatever's ailing you, right? It's basically what's ailing you, like what's keeping you up at night, and what's bugging you, and like what do you really want if you're really honest with yourself, and what's holding you back from getting there. It's just you. So then you start on that self journey path, right? So when I started doing that, like what I was referring to, reading these books and then reaching out and going, you know what, I'm going to take an acting class, because when I was a little girl, I said I wanted to be an actress. And then I never really did it because I was looking for parental support or whatnot. When you're a kid, you can't really drive yourself down the road and to auditions and things like that. But it's like, I knew if I want to do that, I have to be an adult. It has to be my own way, because I'm not supported like that here. It's kind of like, no, that's not happening. You can play all you want in the playroom though, like keep on acting. So I did, which was really fun by myself. But I think a lot of kids do that. It's awesome. It's creative play. My son does that automatically, and I just like encourage that for him. It's so, for me, having that and then seeing my son really kind of blossom as he's learning and getting to know himself too is such a blessing, because I'm like, oh my gosh, we have that in common. Like, it's just really cool, but it's natural. Did I ever force that? No. Why would I do that? Why would I want to pigeonhole my son into something he's not interested in, doesn't want to do, feels pressure, anxiety about? That's a whole other topic, right? But yeah, I had to start trying new things like the acting class. I got new friends in there. My mind was open. I was doing things that were so simple, like learning how to breathe in different ways. And that was the really first time I probably meditated, like with real breath work that we were doing. And we were doing it for a purpose, obviously. But I had never felt that feeling, that magic inside, and then also the magic of being vulnerable and the magic of no worries, like literally anything in here goes, as long as you're not hurting anyone in here, really, like that would be grounds. Like just obvious stuff. But everything else, you're free. You're free to play. You're here to play. We're here to do a craft, and it's an art, and we're going to reparent, our inner child, or parent it at all if we were never properly parented, and give ourselves some of those things that we need. And it's like I learned little basic, easy steps back then and got to practice it as well as expressing myself and connecting with a partner, somebody that's really, I look into some of these actors' eyes that have become my friends, and I didn't know them yet, but instant connections. We're both alive and like interested and eager to experience, to live life, to, we're there to take it all in, but also give. And it's like when you have that commonality and you're there and you feel this energy coming out of this stranger, but you feel like you're, kinsman, like this is my bro, this is my sis. Like you can feel it inside in your soul. And I just remember really experiencing that in a profound way in the acting class. And then it spilled onto my energy and my excitement for life again and going after goals. And it's like, then I was able to spill that into my community, right, into different ways, because I was happier inside.
So having a healthy connection, or as it were, it says build healthy connections. You were building healthy connections that you generated.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The next one is allow yourself to grieve the loss of the relationship. What did you end up grieving that you felt you lost? What have you experienced with that part of this posting? 6 ways to heal a trauma bond, from my therapy tribe out of California here.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a really important one that I never took seriously, or I didn't know how to take seriously, because I didn't let myself feel my feelings and process, how I really felt. And what does this all mean? Like, I just thought, I don't have time for that. Like, I don't need that. These other people need that. I don't need that. I'm good. I'm solid. Like, I can go fast and heal this way on the go. I'm going to heal on the go. That was always just like my thing, because I was always just living off of the way that I felt, even though I was told not to and I was trying not to. That's what I was doing, though. Instead of recognizing and becoming mindful and aware, that took some more years as we come up to now. But it's true, there was some relationships that should have been properly grieved many years ago for me. I'm sure a lot of people out there can relate. I settled down very young. I was only 17 when I met my ex-husband, and I was 22 when we got married. We stayed together that whole time. And then I had my son at 25. By the time I was 28, 29, we were separating. By the time I was 30, we were legally divorced, for example. So that takes you through a whole span. This was some seasons in my life, some real like developmental stages that I did not know myself. I just knew what my label was, my ego identity, right? Who everyone else thinks I am.
What was your label from your own words and your own mind and your own emotions? What was your label during that time frame?
It's like Crystal's the funny, fun, blonde. She's loving though. She's sweet, but she, she's a little different than us. Like, she's the wild one sometimes. She can be rebellious. She can be a problem, but she's so wonderful too.
Wow.
That was a long label.
It sounds like gaslighting after all.
You got a whole monologue.
Playing with your reality, and no matter what you thought, this is your reality. We're going to tell you by these labels. Matter of fact, before you go on, I'm going to put 2 other number of things up on the screen, but 2 more that are connected with this first one. You brought it up. We had the show the other day with Sarah De Silva and Eve Bradley. All right, Heal the Mom Wound and Your Easy Life on Tuesday, and you found this posting that we just talked about, and now you just mentioned about labels that were put on you and so forth, different things. This was the other posting. This one I pulled up from my therapy tribe. And by the way, if you're wondering, this is what she looks like. My Therapy Tribe. Feel free to check her out on Instagram. This is her Instagram page. She's got some content that you may be able to get some source of information and direction from that can help you as you go through your emotional journey of recovery or whatever you may be dealing with. But back to this one here. Gaslighting sounds like. My Therapy Tribe listed 6 or 6. No, not 7, right? I can't count.
These are good.
Yeah, 7 different things that gaslighting sounds like. When you were making adjustments through your life, you learned some things along the way. What is some advice you would give now with this posting, with some of the changes that you've gone through?
Oh my goodness. Now it's like laughable, of course. It's totally ridiculous how much gaslighting. I'm like, oh, well, no wonder I've been confused. That's all I ever knew. That's what everything came out of everybody's mouth. Oh, like, I had a right to be
let the
confused.
confusion begin, huh?
No wonder I was confused. I was like, yeah, Crystal, you're cool. Then I started really loving myself. Okay. That's the key. You have to see how bad is it really, and then it's easier to love yourself.
What is it? The first one says, you're so dramatic. Okay, that had to be rough if you were taking acting classes.
Oh my gosh. If somebody called me dramatic in there, I'd be like, why, thank you. Was it called for in the scene? You're welcome.
To be dramatic.
No, like, of course.
Give me my Oscar. Give me my Oscar. Oscar, where are you, Oscar?
Dramatic. You're, what? Just relax. Why are you getting all hyped up? Whoa. Like I was yelling. I'm like, I'm not yelling. I'm just speaking up for myself. My voice is not raised.
Okay. The other one is what is the other one there? I'll go left to right. Wow. Can you hear yourself? I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to be laughing. I know I'm laughing because these are actually things that people across the world in different places have had someone tell them, and they're not related or connected. These are expressions that can become common towards someone. We got to give real thought to what we say to others that can be truly damaging to their well-being. Wow, can you hear yourself? You sound crazy. The other one was, that didn't happen. You're making stuff up.
That one is rough. That one's a sharpshooter, in my opinion. It's like you're trying to address something that either just happened, everybody knows it, like it's like obvious that it just happened. Nobody's memory is that bad. Like it was right.
Nobody's memory. It just happened.
Or it was something in the near future. I mean, near past. It's like, it's short-term memory, and then there's long-term memory, right? You got working memory, short-term, long-term memory, different focal points, different purposes, different strengths and weaknesses with this, depending on many factors. And
the next one is, you need some serious help, not foolish help, but like some serious help. And then it says I've heard that. I think we've all heard that, especially from someone that didn't want to own up to what they've done wrong. You make me act this way.
That's a fun one.
As if you tied someone down and made them act a certain way. It's your own fault that you feel that way. Wow, that's dangerous. That's just awful.
And then I'll be like, you know what? You're right, because I'm standing here talking to you. But like, it is my own fault. Thank you.
I need to stop talking to you, and I'll be just fine. It's just okay. The last one is, then there you go, overreacting again. That almost ties into the first one. You're so dramatic. Those two should go together, kind of. There you go, overreacting again, as if our emotions need to be just swept under the rug. There are moments in a person's life, these postings, this one here and the previous one and what I'm going to put up next and some other stuff, are all a part of the theme that many of you have asked us to talk about. You told us you appreciate us having guests on and a number of other things you love about our channel. But more importantly, you wanted us to showcase Instagram pages, books, and a number of other things, people that you don't have to go looking for. We can bring them to your attention, and you can decide whether you want to subscribe, follow them, or whatever it may be, buy their book. Maybe you want to buy their course. We got individuals that will be coming on, and we're going to talk about and showcase some of their courses that they're offering, and then you can decide. It'll always be a positive, per se, show. in which we're showcasing other individuals. We're not going to be bringing people on and bash them and all that kind of stuff like that, or give
No,
bad reviews to people, the books that they make or other things.
that's
We
me.
want you to know that this information is not pinpointed toward anybody. It's to mainly showcase to our viewers and subscribers for this particular channel, NATV network. I just like saying that, right?
You say it
Uh,
well.
I can't do many other things well, but I can do that. All right,
Hey,
here's the other one,
pretty good.
the last one from my therapy tribe. Growth happens when you stop. Now, please follow, and I think she has a YouTube page as well. Check out her page as well. But growth happens when you stop. First one, being overly critical of yourself. Your take on that?
Absolutely. That was something that I learned from the books I started reading 10 plus years ago and going through the acting trade. I keep just crediting everything to the acting class and these books. So gosh darn it. And breathing.
Maybe you should start an acting class therapy session
I think that's a great idea. I have lots of
in which
ideas.
you walk people through as if they're going to be an actor, but the
Yes.
techniques that are used for people to peel the layers back and get to the true core of how they're
Yeah.
thinking and feeling.
And then I could
We just
package it
made
with
that
like
up.
intensive, like on fire, crazy. Like
That's it.
package you
Wait. That's it. That's the name of it. You call it the fire course.
could be like
You call it fire. We just have to come up
living la vida
with,
loca.
what each letter would mean, make an acronym out of it. Okay. So let's put everybody, let's put them through the fire. Growth happens when you stop being overly critical of yourself,
Mhm.
being influenced by the negative energy of others,
Hmm.
seeking validation, approval from others, doubting yourself, focusing on past mistakes,
Mhm.
and comparing yourself. So, again, these are 6 items that are provided by my therapy tribe out of California. Check out our Instagram page. Here she is right here, Dr. Allison Klum Aguirre. I'm quite sure I
Amazing.
just butchered that. She has a private practice in California. Check out her bio and all of the information there by going to her Instagram page. Somebody we're highlighting to you today in this show. Crystal, any thoughts on any of the 6, especially to the young
All
women
legit.
of today?
Yes, all legit. I'll even stick in one in between being overly critical of yourself, being influenced by the negative energy of others, because guess what? That takes a little bit to work through. I guess if you're really intense and focused and committed to what you're doing, it's like you can figure that out probably faster than I did. Um, but it's something in
Everybody at their
between.
own pace, right? Everybody at their own pace.
It's your own journey. It's your own path,
Yeah.
right? Your own pace. I love it. Endurance. It's an endurance pace, like we talked about. Okay. Instead of just being influenced by the negative energy of others, because you may not be aware, if you're like me, what negative energies am I absorbing and who are they coming from exactly? And how can I be sure? And like, well, they told me this and then they did that, then all of a sudden it becomes, psh, no wonder I was feeling like brain fog and confused. Man, the headaches, it's like there's no medicine that can help you with that. You got to sort through this and break this down. And it's like, it was helpful to even write it out. Like people in my life, from my family to my close friends, to these people, to these, who am I absorbing energies from? Who am I in contact with the
Yeah.
most and what's going on in this, like starting to just break everything down and look at it for what it is on paper, just the facts, instead of putting your thoughts, right? Opinions, your experiences, your
So
dogma, your
I
brainwashing.
want to ask you about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Journaling. You said put it down on paper. You mentioned that. I know there are a number of different things that you mentioned throughout a few of our shows this week. Why is it important for others to begin to contemplate, think seriously about journaling?
Yes, it's like proven to be a creative flow activity and experience and inner expression of your thoughts, feelings, spirit, soul, like all of it. There's things in there that you are going to pull out when you write it that you wouldn't necessarily say that way, because sometimes I write more descriptive, I'm like, what am I trying to be, Robert Frost over here? What's going on?
You're
And
making a
he's like,
novel. You're making a novel, but it's pouring out of you though, right? It's pouring
it's
out of you
in
while you're
there.
journaling.
Yes, and I'm right-handed. Some people are left-handed. It doesn't really matter, but it is important to do some handwriting when you're pouring out your heart. You're talking about your heart center. You're talking about your soul, your spirit, all of that. It's really important to do more handwriting, and a lot of people got out of practice with that because it's flowing. You're talking about creative energy, creative flow. From everything to the bedroom, to the dance hall, to the acting class, to write. You're an artist. If you're living your life, you're an artist, and it's up to you. What kind of painting do you want to paint? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like from the vibe of like your life painting? Okay, because you're holding the pen and you've got the thoughts, and you can speak out the good word as well. Sometimes the things I say are very different than the things I write, but it's all pouring out. Just like you said, it's in there to be expressed in different ways and different categories, modalities, whatever word I'm searching for. It's like, try all these things, try a lot of creative flow activities. I'm calling it that.
No, hey, you know what? So we just made up this course that you're going to do called Fire, and now you have a free-flowing creative modality that you're coming up. We're just making up stuff as we go, everybody. So overall, when it comes to journaling that you've been doing, there was a period that you weren't doing that.
Oh, yeah.
What was that life like comparison to the life you've experienced journaling now?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Years ago, when I was sitting down and writing more, and I was doing the acting thing, and I was trying to free write more, I think I tried to make myself do it too much because I started really enjoying it. And then I overdid it too much that way. So keeping it balanced, because then I would be like, oh, I'm forcing it. Like, it's okay, Crystal. Take a creative day off.
Right. So you created a flow in which you were able to put your emotions and what has actually been happening in your life on paper.
My thoughts, my emotions, things that happen, things that I wish would happen, whatever's stuck back in here. Like, and you promise yourself when you write, the key is you're not editing. You're not going to edit and change it. You're going to let it flow out.
You're not going to water it down. You're not going to water it down.
No, and you're not going to worry about punctuation. You're not going to worry about your handwriting. You're literally going to just let it flow out. What is the honest truth? And sometimes I'd be like, that's really weird. I wrote that. Other times
I wrote that. Read it back.
I'm like, who the heck cares, Crystal? Like, what are you talking about?
You start to see your thoughts then is what you're saying, and your emotions.
Really helpful. And even just speaking it out loud, if you can't write it or it's not convenient at the time, I talk to myself a lot. And it was kind of like a ongoing joke with my family. Like, Crystal talks to herself. Don't answer, like that's some jokes everybody tells. But, and then I realized they think I'm like, you guys don't talk to yourself. I'd be like, hey, do you talk to yourself, man? Then I started asking people and realizing I'm not the only one, first of all. And the people that are like, oh, you don't want to talk about it, think I'm weird. I don't want to talk to them anyways.
So hey, do you find yourself in situations where you're talking to yourself and somebody interrupts you and you tell them to wait until you finish having the conversation with yourself? Oh wait, maybe I'm the only one that does that.
Oh,
anyhow, so
no, of course you're not the only. I've had people tell me that and whatnot, but I guess I let people interrupt me, and then now feel like I'm interrupting everything else going on around me, and I'm just like, I'm in myself right now, like like I shared with you yesterday, just blocking everybody all of a sudden out of nowhere, no warning, I was like, you know what, I just can't afford to be distracted right now. This is important to me. I'm on this path, on this journey for loving myself and like finding my spirituality, facing all this mental health stuff and trying to help other people, making something good out of a bad situation, right? We were talking about that.
Yeah, right. Hey, so why is it important for someone who may hear this or watch this back? Why is it important for a young person, anyone, to know that it's important to cut out the distractions when they're on this journey? Why is it important to cut out the distractions?
Because once you realize what you really want, what you're really doing, and you get more clear on it, and you get more comfortable with yourself, and you believe in yourself, and you love yourself. You know you're worthy. You're going to go after it. You have ideas. Your creative energy flows with moving and grooving. You're not feeling insecure. You're not worried about things you were worrying about. You're not looking at your phone, trying to answer a text that really don't matter. It's just a distraction. It's going to take away from your focus of what is about you and your life and what your dreams and aspirations are.
Wow, that's really good. Crystal, you have done quite well today. Crystal Black Pure Podcasting, if you want to deal directly with Crystal and check her out on her new Instagram page as well. Crystal, thank you so much for today's show, hanging out with me today. We've got a guest coming tomorrow. His name is Warren. And, well, everybody, you'll get a chance to see Warren. It's going to be Fridays are actually the day in which I will try to have individuals on NATV Radio that I've already done shows with. And some of you have asked for that too. What happened to the guests? You know, I don't do follow-up stuff with guests, but Crystal and I will spend some time with Warren. He is a coach for men mainly. And it's going to be an interesting show. We'll see some things that Warren, hear some things rather, or you'll see some things too. Get Warren. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Crystal, anything you want to recommend to the audience to take a look at, a book, anything in particular you want to recommend for their mental health journey that will be good? Any journaling books or anything you want to throw out real quick? And then I got a few recommendations, and we're going to play some music for everybody on the way out.
Absolutely. I say, start your spiritual and self-love and healing journey now while you can, because we're not promised tomorrow, right? So start it now. Start writing down, talking to yourself, videotaping yourself, whatever it takes. Like, what are you afraid of? Dig in deep. Just dig one layer at a time. And there's so many great tools and programs out there. I know I told you, Paxton, I'm working on some content. I'm like, there's so much. It's organizing it. But there's some other awesome ones out there. I will mention a book that is on my list that I'll be sharing and posting on my stuff too. But it's called Broken Open by Elizabeth Lesser. And I know for me, it's been a book that I've gone back to and read the chapters over and over because it's that type of book where it's it's just so good. And
what's the name of it again?
Broken Open.
Okay, everybody. There's Crystal's recommendation for you to take a look at that. Crystal, there's something else I was going to ask you. It totally just went. There's something. No. Oh, by the way, if there are any shows or anything like that that help people with their mental health that they could keep in mind, feel free to. Everybody, go over to Crystal Black Pure Podcasting. Subscribe to that. Crystal's going to have check out her YouTube shorts. Or any other videos that she's posting. She'll be posting information for you that she doesn't talk about over there for you and your journey of recovery and dealing with trauma or gaslighting or anything like that, toxic relationships. She'll be posting a lot of stuff on your Instagram too as well, right? Your new Instagram.
Yes, I just started that today. So it's Crystal N as in Nicole Black Pure Podcasting on IG, and then here, thank you. Yeah. You totally helped me out.
Don't be telling people. People ask me to help them, and I don't want to help them. No, I'm just kidding.
You helped remind me to say that.
No.
And then I was like,
oh yes, my friend. I'm sorry. You're right.
Something more simple. Just say this.
Totally went the wrong way on that one. Thank you, my friend. But what I was gonna say is, I'm a lot of the links. I'm laughing. See, everybody can't see you. I can, and of course, and so I'm laughing. Things that you're doing.
Sleep as much as I did as I have been recently. I'll be honest, if you can't tell.
All right, so we're going to be ending the show. We've gone 45 minutes. We try to keep the show within the time frame of a lunch break. We went a little bit longer than we wanted to because we can and we wanted to. You're going to enjoy tomorrow's show. Crystal, I've got 2 recommendations that I'm going to throw out. You're going to get this toward the end of all of our shows. We've done 5 days, Crystal. We've gone 5 days with this show, and I have to admit the stuff that people send me privately, they of course love you anyhow. They just trying to figure out why you endure, and you should just go do your own show without me. Anyhow, but they enjoy the fact that we finally did this. It's taken 9 months, but we've put it together. But here we go. Recommendation. Somebody's asked, made the question to me, ask me the question, explain codependency. I'm the wrong person to ask that question to because I'm not a coach or any of that kind of stuff. I just put people on. So I'm going to use Lisa Romano, Lisa A. Romano. She says codependent, the definition is there, a person who does not feel worthy of help, yet will help others at the expense of the self. A person who confuses enabling, fixing, needing, and rescuing with love. That's interesting. Enabling, fixing, needing, and rescuing. If you find yourself in a position where all four of those mean a whole lot to you and you think that's love, you may need to reconsider because you've just left the door open for someone, toxic person, manipulator, narcissist, or whatever the case may be, to take advantage of you. So be careful out there. Be careful out there. Anything, Crystal, on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's important. This is a very customized definition now, after probably years of research. And I'm looking at it. I remember that book, Codependent No More. I forgot the lady who wrote it, but that was like a really popular.
I went blank too. Totally forgot.
Codependent No More. It was like, when I started talk therapy, that was the one that was recommended. Like, read this.
Hey, if you know what that book is, somebody that watches this back, go ahead and put it in the notes, in the comments of the show, because maybe somebody needs to read that. That's a good one, Crystal.
It is a good book, but it's a little shocking once you start breaking through that denial wall and looking at the truth. Yeah. You're like,
that's a good point.
My whole life I've been codependent.
I've been, And second recommendation, cannot leave the show today without recommending my good friend, beautiful person that she is. Done a number of shows with her. She does a lot of real talk. She's done the Real Talk show here on our YouTube channel. Dr. Robin Bryman, PhD, baby. Dr. Robin Bryman, subscribe to her YouTube channel as well as her Instagram page. But by all means, Dr. Robin Bryman, please go check out her website as well. She does really well in her private practice and she makes some really great videos. So those are my two recommendations for the day. You'll get that every time we come on, some type of recommendation from Crystal or myself for you to go take a look at. This is what you've asked of us. And so we'll be happy to do it. My time with everybody is done. Huh? We're done here. This is kind of like the time I'm supposed to put on music. Sad. Anything else you want to say, my friend?
That makes me sad. I think I was just really enjoying.
You got stuff to do. You don't
tired, wonky mood. It was fun.
You don't want to be here all day with me.
I would if we had food at some point during
if we had food, is that what you just said?
Extravaganza. Yeah. If we had food, I could hang with you like 24 hours probably.
I'm thinking about that. If we time this right, I don't know if you're eating pizza now. Are you eating pizza and stuff like that? I don't know.
How did you know I was just
You're healthy and
pizza?
Stuff.
Like not even a minute ago, I had pictured pizza in my mind. Did you read my mind?
Oh, okay. I have that power. Not.
You have.
No, I don't have that
powers.
Power at
you
all.
Have Paxton power punch.
Paxton power. Okay, so I just want to say we've had it. Okay, you scared me on the Paxton power thing. I'm trying to think about it, man. I don't know what I did with my cape.
PPP, Paxton power punch.
Man,
watch out.
That's Crystal for you, everybody. Please make sure you go check her out. This is the recap part of the show. What did we do at the beginning? We talked about this. Then we talked about this.
Don't forget what it sounds like.
And then, that's right. Please don't recognize it as soon as it comes your way, everybody, and run or put cotton in your ears. And then we talked about this.
It's
to you by this beautiful woman.
It's very.
And my cohort in crime, of course, is Crystal. Black, Pure Podcasting, Instagram page, and all the above. Of course, we wanted you to know to always check out Lisa A. Romano. Beautiful work she does. And Dr. Robin Bryman, PhD. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. Okay, this is it. Your free radio station here on YouTube, your YouTube radio station, NATV Radio.
Thank you.
Well, Crystal, I tell you what, I'm going to talk to you in just a little bit, but don't go yet.
Okay. Thanks for putting up with me.
Nah, hey. Crystal's the best. Everybody send some love to Crystal. Crystal, you're the bomb. Hey, so just curious. Mm-hmm. What type of ice cream do you like?
Chocolate chip cookie dough, birthday cake remix.
Okay.
What else? Rocky Road. Neapolitan, so I can have all three. A lemon. Okay. Like I said, what?
I think you've told us your top 20. That's really good. All right.
Maybe that was like 5.
All right, everybody. It's been 51 minutes on NATV Radio. We've got a chance to share a couple of things that you've talked to us about. We put it on for you. And tomorrow, we're going to answer all you guys that have told me, hey, when are you going to put stuff on that's just for guys? Crystal, you're going to be here tomorrow with myself and Warren. It's going to be 2 guys. And we're going to be talking, and you're going to give us your perspective on how crazy we sound.
That's awesome. Does Warren know that you do Fun Fridays?
No, he has no idea. He probably watched this. He's going to watch this show back. I think he said he was going to do that. Now he's going to know.
Or should I make it a flashback Friday and wear like old clothes and like an outfit?
Oh, wait a minute. You came up with the hat thing and didn't wear a hat. So I don't know if I got to keep following your cues, because I'll come dressed
right now, but you didn't want me to take my headphones off for a second to see
no
the hat.
Hey, but check it out, show everybody that cool hat. You got it still there?
Yeah.
Where's the hat?
It's right here. I can still hear you.
Okay, all right, it's there. Check that out, everybody. Man, okay,
when the thunder rolls.
Go. Hey, you know what, Garth Brooks would be proud of you.
I hope so. Almost matches. Not really.
It does match.
One more.
Oh, you got another one. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the one. There you go. Hey, wait, get in the middle. Get in the middle like that, because later on when I do this, I'm gonna get a screenshot. Wait, I gotta put my. Now keep your head like that. Now I get my head like that. Hold it there for a second. Yeah, and I get a screenshot of that later. There it is. Everybody.
I know what I'm doing. There it is. Sometimes it's like hang 10. Sometimes it's like the I love you sign.
All right.
And I don't know what other signs there are. I should probably check, make sure.
It is, everybody. There it is. NATV Radio. Now we are going to change the way you hear and see mental health right here on NATV Network. This is your opportunity to have some fun in your recovery when you step over here. Check out everybody else, but when you're done crying with them, come over here and smile during your recovery. NATV Network, Crystal, Black, and Paxton will be back tomorrow. Oh man, this is fun. This is fun. And it's free too. It's free to everybody.
I'm going to be back in black tomorrow.
That's right. There you go. Are you going to wear black tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll do the same. But then too, I always wear black. But okay, I'm going to do that tomorrow too. Okay, everybody, if you want to join the show and you're wearing black, send us a picture. Whatever you want to do. We'll see you guys around.
See you tomorrow.
I'll let you guys have some of this on the way out.
I like it.
Pretty good, huh?
Easy to flow to, move your hips to,
Journaling music. It's journaling music. I don't know.
It's almost bedroom type music. Hear that. Hear it. But like a PG version.
I can't let you out in the public at all.
I talk about this stuff in front of my son, who's 12, so,
Hey, I need you to do me a favor.
They need to know.
I need you to tell everybody, what's your Instagram page again?
The new one I just started for the podcasting. It is Crystal N as in Nicole Black. Crystal N Black. Your podcasting. I know it's super long, but I'm long and I'm strong.
There you go. And your YouTube page is what again? YouTube channel rather?
It is Crystal Black Pure Podcasting. YouTube.
What do you do over there? You cooking?
Oh, tonight? Or...
Beating up your son, putting him on a swing.
Oh my gosh, he did not want to go on the swing with me. Do you know how many times he's turned me down? He's like, no, Mom, I'm not going to the swing set today. You want to go every day. Why do you want to swing every day? It's not that fun. I'm like, whoa, you sound like an old man.
Expanding his horizon.
I'm like, I'm not calling you Gramps as long as you're being grumpy.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of fun. Then he gets annoyed eventually.
Well, you're doing the mom thing to him, and he's going like, Mom, I'm becoming a man.
At least I know I'm the cool mom because he wants to spend a lot of time with me, and he gets confused when he can't. Or like if I'm busy doing something like this, he's like, okay, I guess we'll talk later. Like he's really, I mean, we're tight.
Oh man. Okay,
You know?
so tomorrow, you tell your son tomorrow you're too busy because you're gonna be spending your time with Warren.
Who's Warren?
Exactly. That's what he's gonna do because he's a guy.
Oh,
you're like, oh, you're not gonna spend time with me? What's going on?
He's my little Leo. He's my little lion. Wow.
All I know is that you make some pretty good YouTube shorts when you're cooking.
They're kind of wonky and real, aren't they? A little organic. Like, hey, I just woke up and
you need a shirt that says wonky.
Say that again?
You need a shirt that says wonky.
Yeah, Wonky Wednesday instead of like Women Crush Wednesday and like Wang Wednesday. I don't know what all these. How about Wonky Wednesday?
Hey, remember when we talked about starting something and start a channel or show something and just call it random?
Yes, it was supposed to be.
It's kind of what we're doing right now, just
rambling.
What we normally do. We're just random stuff.
Maybe we'll check with each other if we're in the mood, if anyone else is hanging around. Do you guys want to do some ramble? Like for 5 minutes? There
we go. There it is.
And then
ramble. Because that's what we do. We just start rambling on and on. Okay, look, everybody. We know you have more important things to do. We just needed to do something to emotionally distract you from the troublemakers in your life, and that's what this is for. So if you're wondering what's the purpose of this, you've missed the purpose. But I've just told you what it is, right?
Helpful distraction. And it's an educational, helpful, uplifting distraction.
There you go. Needed. On that note, we are out, people. NATV Radio.
Out like trout.
It is. Bye-bye.
Bye.